Today we're taking a look at the 3Dio, the free space. You may have seen one of these before. It is a stereo binaural microphone. Essentially, it has a microphone capsule on each side, and it has ears basically so that when the sound hits the capsules, it has the ears for obstruction so that when you listen to the audio later, it sounds like you are there listening to it because it hears like a human, so the audio recording then sounds human. That's the idea. My problem, though, with the 3Dio is that it has a major flaw. And we're going to fix that today. But before I say what the fix is or what the flaw is, quick story on how I got this 3Dio. I found this on Mercari. I'm in Japan, by the way, if you didn't know. $172 or about 25,000 yen for this. The seller said that it does not work. And I bet that because of its flaw, that's the reason that it doesn't work. So we're going to fix that. Also, the seller didn't disclose that they vaped around this thing, so it smells bad. And I really hate it when sellers just are like, yeah, we're not going to mention that I vaped or smoked around the thing that I'm selling you. So it stinks. And yeah, I don't like touching it, but I've cleaned it up a little bit. So yeah, for the moment, it doesn't work. This is a battery-powered microphone. And you're thinking, oh, if it's battery-powered, it's just a dead battery, right? Where do you change the battery? That is the flaw. If you need to change the battery on this, you actually have to unscrew the lid. Which, by the way, repeatedly screwing and unscrewing screws is generally not what they're designed to do. They're only designed to come in and out a few times at most. So yeah, to access the battery, you have to take out 4 screws and take off the top plate. Here's the battery. So I know that this is the original battery because that's in English. And batteries in Japan are not in English. And you can see 12/2024. So this has obviously got to be a dead battery. Let's pop that back on there. My input here to the mixer. All right. Turn up the volume. Now you're hearing me through the 3Dio from behind. Yes. There we go. It's working fine. I paid $172 for this. This retails for $400. So, there you go. I fixed this in 30 seconds by just putting a new battery in. This is the flaw with this thing, is that to change the battery, you have to disassemble it, and that's not good. So we're going to fix that, because I see that there's a lot of space in here that's filled with this foam. The foam's to, if you tap on it or, maybe cross-talk, that sort of thing, to keep any excess noise, that sort of thing, out. So we're going to change the top of this thing for something else. I've gone through a couple design iterations already. This one was a test. This one was basically the final, so essentially a couple iterations. And then the final one. We take this final one right here. There we go. I have now added a battery compartment to this thing. By the way, I did this in like 2 hours yesterday. Oh, not the dead battery. We want the good battery. Yeah, let's shove that like that. Come on, it's a little bit of too much of this, little. Also, by the way, this cover is like too small for this top. I made this a little bit larger so it sits more flush. Let's just get this in here. I'm not rushing. This is just me being me. Come on, get out. Get out. Gimme. All right, go in. And then in we go. Bam. You know what? I'll trim that later. We now have one repaired microphone with mod that makes it easy to change the battery. I didn't even have to do any wiring or internal changes to this. This is something that the manufacturer of this product could do. They could laser cut a hole in this, put a battery box in there, and suddenly everyone that gets confused about, oh, my microphone is broken. No, the battery is dead, and it's a pain in the ass to change. Imagine you're in the middle of using this like on YouTube or Twitch, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I gotta change the battery. I need a screwdriver and a 9 volt. Duh! Why? This thing has been around for like over a decade, and this is still not a solved problem. Just go in there. Nope. There. You see nothing? You do not see the ribbon. Look at that. I'll get some screws to put in here later. But this is solved. It is now functionally that much better. And I only paid $172 for this because someone thought it was broken because they didn't know there was a battery inside. So its major flaw is just a usability design issue that was quickly fixed. I did this in less than 2 hours. So I'm hoping that the manufacturer of this in the future fixes this. And yeah, I know this is me a little ranting a little bit. I have a bone to pick. Just make the product a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. Especially when it costs $400 retail, and there's a $650 version of this that all it does is add 2 XLR jacks. I didn't show you one in here, but there's actually spots for those XLR jacks to go in already. Just have to drill the holes, of course. But yeah. Well, I'm Oceana. See you later. Bye.